Hey, how we doing, guys?
Good morning, guys.
Joe here.
Kevin.
So Schitt's Creek.
Yeah.
So I was told on Patreon that the last episode we watched was basically the finale.
And I kind of it felt like a finale. Sure.
I
Yeah.
think they said that this aired a year later.
This episode that we're calling a
episode.
finale?
Yeah.
Interesting.
So I don't know if that's Hulu. I don't know. Get like looping this onto the third season or what they're doing there because
And it might have just been a thing where the network, was like, can you shoot us an extra episode? I mean, we had a similar situation with West Wing,
Mhm.
right? Because of like circumstances.
Oh yeah.
They shot an extra episode, which was kind of ended up jumping into the season 3
And that
premiere
was, like,
when
the
it really
prologue?
wasn't. Yeah, absolutely. Right. So
Well, this is more of an epilogue, I guess. So
yeah, it's hard to say if it's that much after. Maybe that was supposed to be. I mean, it felt like a finale, right? We had finale elements
we
to it,
said that when we watched it.
right?
Finale, yeah.
Because we had, Ted and Alexis finally, kind of finding their way to each other.
I love
there.
that.
Patrick and David, saying they love each other.
I know. They're. I really hope something bad's not going to happen because they're so great.
Oh, for
Just
sure.
let us
for sure.
enjoy this TV show.
Yeah,
please.
right.
But no, the Alexis and Mutt thing, or not Mutt thing. I'm sorry, Alexis and Ted thing. I feel like we've been building for that forever, and
Yeah.
it was such a great payoff.
It was because and honestly, because they've matured, especially Alexis had matured so much,
Mhm.
I would have been really fine if they never got together. But I still wanted them to. I was still glad to see it. You know what I mean? It's like,
Yeah, absolutely.
like in an adult, mature world, there's not a happy ever after for everybody. Everyone,
Yeah.
everyone's like, oh, they should be together. It doesn't really happen. So I was like, maybe this is one of those things where it's like Alexis learns and grows from the fact that she can't have what she wants.
No, you're right. I
But
mean, trust me, I had that same cynical view.
Right, sure.
Like The Graduate's one of my favorite movies. I love that ending of
right,
you don't get that happy ever after. So
right, yeah.
every
What
once in a
now?
while, though,
Yeah.
I am a sucker for
Oh,
a Gary
sure.
Marshall film.
Of
You know,
course,
like
right.
you want that sentimentality sometimes, and that's what that brought.
Right. How did Pretty Woman work as a movie?
I know, right?
You look at it on paper and like, wait, this is a romantic comedy?
Well, dude, Gear coming out of the '80s, you're like, all right, this guy's got a darkness in him.
Right.
And it's like the nicest movie ever.
It really
Yeah.
was. It caught everyone off guard. We do want to welcome some Patreon subscribers for the weekend, guys. So Colin Collins, Peter Jalgalado, I think that's right. Yannick Dennis Trudell, thank you. Next, Martin S., Fabian Nielsen, and Hase Wilson. Sorry. Welcome, guys, and thank you so much for being here. We sincerely appreciate you.
Nailed it.
I'm quite sure. Yeah.
And if you guys are watching us for the first time on YouTube, welcome to our channel.
Hello.
If you don't mind, hit the like button for us. Leave us a comment down below, please. And please hit the subscribe button so you can stay up to date with all the new content we've coming your way.
Absolutely. If you'd like to see a full-length reaction to this and everything else we've watched, including every episode of Schitt's Creek up to now, please check out a link in the description below to our Patreon page and watch along with us as we see these in full real time from start to finish.
Yeah.
And absolutely have loved the show. Our first show.
This was our first
This,
show.
this is our first show. This one is always, we're starting to head towards the ending here. The ending's in sight. Yeah, right.
It's great, and I don't want to think about it.
Right. It's very
show ending.
very much a special place in our hearts on this show.
What I do when this thing's over, man. I really don't know.
Right.
Oh, this is cool.
This must be a flashback because things are looking fancy.
Yeah, or a dream.
Right. Paul Schaefer,
Yeah.
Letterman, yeah.
And worth every penny.
Yeah, Max Conan.
I like this because I feel like it's kind of showing like this is back when they were happy, but they don't really seem happy.
Yeah. This is brilliant, actually.
Yeah.
I'm glad we get to like throw it back a little bit.
Yeah.
What day is it?
Christmas Eve. Wake me when it's over.
It's never been winter in Schitt's Creek since we've been with this show. Yeah.
Out of bed. It's
Canada,
Christmas
famously
Eve, and
cold.
this year we will be celebrating the holiday. I say we throw a party, just like the old days. Invite some people over, sing some carols.
Okay, you know today is Christmas Eve, right?
Can't think of a more festive way to spend Christmas Eve than all of us pitching in.
Okay, I just don't know how we're gonna pull this off without the grand piano or the ice sculptures.
We have to make
I
new
get that.
memories.
I agree
We have
with
to
him.
start
Yeah.
looking forward, not backward.
Yeah.
Now, you and I will get the tree. David, you're in charge of the decorations.
Fortunately, Ted and I will be unable to attend.
Why? Cancel your plans. Ted is certainly welcome here.
Christmas with your family sounds like fun.
Yeah, it was fun. Like way back, we used to throw these lavish Christmas parties.
That sounds
Somebody
depressing.
who would
That
love
does
to
sound
be
depressing.
celebrating with his family back home. I think it's nice that your dad's planning something. We supposed to be doing anything for this party?
Wow.
Yes, decorations. But even if we could still afford Nate Berkus, I'd burn that bridge in Ibiza. We're not just giving away our inventory.
Wow. So what time is the ghost of Christmas past coming to visit you tonight?
Anyway, I'm sure there's something at the motel. Don't you guys put up decorations over the holidays?
Nana Bud used to.
Okay, so you do have decorations then.
Yeah, but I'm pretty sure they wouldn't be up to your standards.
Well, they'll have to do, because at this point, the party's at 7.
It's just a bit of a tradition at Christmas parties that I have with my friends. See, we do a cookie competition, and then the winner gets to take home all of the leftovers to their families on Christmas Day.
My dad just had this last-minute idea of throwing a Christmas party tonight.
I thought that you said that your family doesn't celebrate Christmas.
Well, I honestly don't know what he's thinking.
Okay, but I don't want to keep you from your family.
You're not. Why don't you just double this cookie recipe and we'll drop a batch off to my parents on our way?
Okay.
Too nice.
He's way too nice. I don't like how that started.
No.
One last chance.
My friends will give you one last chance. Don't blow it again.
Ooh, isn't this festive?
Because famously, the friends determined the
It's
village.
like an
Right.
old-fashioned country Christmas, huh, Moira? Picking out a fresh-cut tree? The Christmas spirit is all around us.
Oh, I'm sorry. By special, I meant higher price because of demand.
Oh.
Keep in mind, with our inventory dwindling, we're surge pricing right now.
I'd love
Wow.
it if you could just be a little more on board with all of this.
Okay, John, for you.
Lights. Oh, we're missing a lot of bulbs. But we'll make do. Hey, what's going on here? This stuff is garbage.
It's dark.
It's Stevie's grandmother's decorations.
You own a store. Where are all the decorations that you sell in your store?
They're at the store being sold.
Couldn't bring home decorations for your family on Christmas because you're saving money for a coffee maker for yourself? How's the guest list coming, Alexis?
I don't know. You tell me.
What?
Why would I tell you? You were in charge of the guest list. You were in charge of making it.
Making it?
Oh, man.
I thought you wanted me to handle it. Like, work the door.
It's the least we can do. Just sorry that we couldn't stick around for the party tonight.
What's that?
You didn't tell?
Oh my God.
He waited till the day of. I mean, I love the sentiment, but he waited till the day. Is this going to have, like, massive holes in it when it comes down?
Oh, no. Charlie Brown tree. It's all right.
I might go kill Ray if I paid $100 for that.
I don't think... why would he pay $100 for that?
Yeah.
What if we cut it up and turned it into garlands?
Why don't we just cut it up for firewood? I'm going to take a walk.
You can have it to lunch.
Meatloaf night at the cafe.
I feel like he's really lashing. They all did. I see how they let him down.
Yeah.
They did.
Yeah.
I didn't want to say anything, but meatloaf night was yesterday.
Like, I get how everyone's let him down, and they really have.
Mhm.
But this is largely on him for coming up with this so spur of the moment, and then expecting everyone to just
Drop what they're doing.
well, to be as intense about it as he is
Yeah.
immediately out of nowhere.
I thought we could open presents tonight.
Oh, don't
See, they're
worry.
all thinking
I'm
about
giving
these
them
great
carrots.
memories, and they didn't have them. They weren't together.
It's so sad.
It is, and it's like, what are these great Christmas memories you're trying to recreate? They don't seem to be there.
Thank the kitchen for the meatloaf. I could have sworn it was Wednesdays.
It's always been Tuesdays.
Isn't right. You sitting here alone.
Oh, I don't know. It feels pretty familiar.
Exactly,
Yeah.
right?
I just thought, in spite of all the hardship, that found ourselves coming together, the kids, you and me, as a family. Perfect day for a Rose family Christmas party.
Oh,
He's kind of getting to me here.
yeah, I know.
We didn't fully understand why this party was so important to you.
Well, doesn't matter now.
It's always next year, John.
And a number of other holidays you can
Yeah.
do. It doesn't have to be Christmas.
New
Have a big
Year's.
New Year's party, yeah.
It's around the corner.
It appears there's been a Christmas miracle, John.
Oh. Oh.
This is nice.
It's a lot of people in that small room.
Yeah.
The same tree?
Theoretically, we have spent a very long time gluing it back together. Scary amount of super glue.
Once bubbly.
Merry Christmas, Mr. Rose.
On the game.
Christmas hat. You know I hate to miss a good party.
All I'm saying is, next time, I'd appreciate my invitation about a week in advance, okay?
I love rolls.
So
I just do.
wonderful that you made this happen for Johnny. Can't we spare one carol here before we go? Why not? Yes.
I don't know why this one always gets me. This Christmas song it gets me too. It's a great shot too.
Yeah,
That was nice.
that was really nice.
I thought you said we weren't doing presents.
Well, you kids were so upset about there being no presents.
A bomb?
It's an antique tin.
Oh.
Stickers of old men.
What?
How they're stamps.
Alex is like,
It's what looks like 1,000 yen.
Okay, let's just smile and say thank you.
it was thoughtful to go in and get him something. Yeah, Jen, make sure she got that in there.
Yeah.
Okay, I can see how that's kind of a one-off.
It didn't feel like a continuation or anything.
No.
Yeah, in many ways it is, obviously. Yeah, a lot of character development, Ted and Alexis, and
Sure. Just kind of like a check-in on them to see where they're at.
Yeah.
But the simple fact that, as we mentioned, there was the first time we'd actually seen cold weather in Schitt's Creek. I really do feel like that was just like we're really going to change it up here for this
we do
one
have Christmas
episode.
here.
Yeah, exactly. It's like, where are they? There's no winter in Canada.
I know, right? But no, it being 100 degrees outside here,
yeah, I was thinking about that the whole time. It's like, it is like 110 today here.
and I miss Christmas time so much now.
I do love cold a lot more than this kind of
Christmas movie tonight or something, because man,
What's your favorite?
Christmas Story.
I think Christmas Story is mine right there with It's a Wonderful Life.
I was just gonna
love
say
both of
that, or
those,
A Wonderful Life. We're together on that one.
Yeah.
Which I kind of thought they were gonna do. It's a Wonderful Life there. Johnny going out and walking around Schitt's
A little
Creek,
bit, right?
But,
that makes sense.
You get 30 minutes. So.
I know it's really dumb, but for a lot of it, just because of the structure of it and everything, and the tone of it, it kind of reminded me of the Guardians of the Galaxy Christmas special a lot.
I never watched that.
I mean, obviously it's a Marvel show, it's
Sure.
way different, but the same, like, oh, one character is kind of sad about Christmas. Let's do something wild to make
For that one
character to make Christmas happen.
I know Kevin Bacon's in it. I thought.
Right. I felt like this was obviously a lot sweeter. They're both comedies, but this was nice. This was actually just a really feel good. Like, remember we were talking about the Ted Lasso Christmas special? It was in season 2.
Yeah.
I loved it too. It was like I could actually see something like that making its way to the Christmas rotation.
Oh, definitely.
Around the holidays. I feel the same about this. This was actually really, really nice.
Yeah, you can have a day of Christmas TV shows.
Yeah, for sure. And I really liked how this one didn't hide from the fact that they used to be rich and have these lavish parties, just kind of looking at their life through the lens of Christmas.
Yeah.
But realizing, as we've kind of felt all along, is they were rich and they could do whatever they want, but they weren't really happy because they weren't a close family before. Now they've lost all of that and all that's been stripped away, which in a lot of ways it really is tragic.
Yeah.
But at the same time, they're becoming so much better people and such a closer family because of it.
Yeah, it's the classic, what is Christmas really about?
Yeah.
And
I'm talking about just like the show in general.
Oh, yeah,
this kind of like a microcosm episode to highlight that, like, we don't have money anymore, but that doesn't mean we're necessarily worse off.
We have each other.
Right. Yeah. We have, the four of them together, along with friends who actually want to be with them.
Yeah.
In a way that they didn't have before.
And there was a dark undertone to this episode as well. Even though they had everything in the flashback,
Right.
they didn't, like you said, they didn't really have each other. They didn't really have anything at all, really anything material.
Well, and if you look at the end of the party, it was Johnny all alone. So all their friends showed up and everything.
All the trappings and all that.
Yeah, but they showed up. They showed up for the party. They showed up because it's going to be a good time. We're going to drink some good booze and hear some live music and eat some good food. But then we're out.
Yeah.
And whereas this is like everyone's still together, which is really kind of nice.
And who wants to be alone on Christmas?
Right. John. I'm glad that Johnny kind of came to that realization by the end. It's like we're all like looking back, nostalgia, kind of looking back on the old days of how wonderful they were, but were they?
Exactly, and I like how that's kind of been the theme the whole show.
Yeah, for sure.
And they just took an episode to really acknowledge that, and a Christmas episode is a great idea for that.
Yeah, absolutely. Now, question: we are heading into season 5. What do you expect moving forward from the show?
Well, okay, so for a while there, I thought 5 was the last season.
Sure.
So I was kind of thinking, all right, well, we're ending with Alexis and Ted, David and Patrick, and everybody's kind of being in a happy spot.
Right.
With 2 seasons left, do you think that Alexis and Ted stay together? I hate to be that way, but
right. I do because I think they're just different people,
Mhm.
and I wouldn't be surprised if the show ends either next season or season 6 with Alexis and Ted getting married.
Oh, that'd be cool.
You know what I mean? Like
That'd be
that would
really
be
cool.
that'd be like the big finale.
I hope that's the case. I really do.
Sure.
But no, I don't have a lot of predictions because I just like experiencing the show.
Mhm.
But it is interesting to think that like they're kind of on top right now in a certain way. They don't have
Right.
all their money back, but they're all very successful.
Yeah, no, they've all integrated themselves into the town.
Mhm.
They all have friends, excuse me, friends or romantic relationships, depending on who you're talking about,
Yep.
outside of the family.
Mhm.
So when you look back when they first showed up and they hated everyone and everything,
Mhm.
and people were trying to be welcoming to them, but it's just everything's so alien both ways, right?
Yeah.
Between the town and between them, everything's so different.
Sure.
And there's a lot of tough areas to navigate. But now you see that they've done it, right? The Roses can have a Christmas party, and everybody shows up to it
Yeah.
to celebrate Christmas with them.
They own the motel. They own the David store is more like it's not a drugstore. It's a
General store.
General store.
Right.
Yeah. Alexis is with the vet. She's been to college. She's an event organizer for the town now.
Yeah.
Yeah. They're a part of the community, and they kind of make digs every once in a while, but at the same time, I feel like
Well, yeah, I mean,
they're enjoying being part of the community
Right.
too.
But even when you felt like at the end there, when Moira made her little crack about burning the hotel down,
Yeah.
it still felt like she didn't mean that. It still felt like you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's not the same level of hate
It's just her
that
words.
it was. It's just you're right. That's just her sense of humor. Like, oh, it'd be terrible if this burned down. Would it, Sean? But even she's saying it to be funny
Yeah.
and not to be cynical.
Yeah.
And she used to say that kind of stuff to be cynical, to express her anger. And can I just say that before we get done here that Eugene Levy's performance in this episode was great.
It was heartbreaking.
Yeah, it really was. I felt like he really kind of carried the tone of this episode really, really well.
He did.
Sometimes it's easy to forget with like all the zaniness of Moira and David and Alexis,
Mhm.
and Johnny's usually the straight man.
Yeah.
That sometimes it's easy to forget how really talented and nuanced as a performer he really is.
I like that he gets to play the straight man.
I do too. I do too.
Not to say that he's not played the straight man before, but usually he's the awkward dad.
Yeah, he's shown
he still does.
he's shown for decades that he's capable of like going all kinds of places. But yeah, he just really nailed the vulnerable paternal character in this one a lot.
I agree. I still need to watch Best in Show and
we when we're done with this those might not be the Christopher Guest movies might not be bad.
What's the other one?
There's
Looking for Gunderman. What is it?
Waiting for Guffman.
Waiting for Guffman.
Here's the sequence as I understand it. Christopher Guest and
Spinal Tap, right?
Yeah, that Michael
Rob
McKeon,
Reiner did Spinal
right?
Tap,
Yeah,
yeah.
Rob Reiner did Spinal Tap. It was like I want to say around 1980. I'm not exactly sure. It's
Yeah.
around there, right? Late 70s, early 80s, and then it wasn't until the 90s, sometime in the 90s, that they got back together and added, Eugene and Catherine O'Hara. And I've seen Spinal Tap, but it's been a long time. And they did Waiting for Guffman, which I guess was absolute masterpiece, right?
I've seen it.
And then because it was such a big hit, they rolled out a couple more. Best in Show and A Mighty Wind.
Yeah, like I said, never seen those.
And I'm not sure. I think Best in Show might have been the peak as far as popularity of those. I'm not sure about A Mighty Wind. And then they did another one that was about Oscar season called For Your Consideration. I looked all this up. That I heard wasn't very good.
Gotcha.
Like that was like
like, and we're done.
Yeah, and that was it, right? Like it's like you know how it is. Like it's like Godfather 3, right? You do one, you're like, nope, we went to the well one too many times.
Yeah,
and then they were kind of done.
Yeah, I like they stopped when they did then.
Sure.
So in many ways, I guess this is a continuation of that, so to speak.
Yeah, because I mean, Eugene Levy and Catherine O'Hara were in
all those together.
I don't know all of them. I do know they were in Best in Show and Waiting for Guffman. I don't know about A Mighty Wind or For Your Consideration.
Gotcha.
And I don't think there's any more of them. I think it's just those four. But like I said, I'm not sure. I know Fred Willard was in a couple of them. R.I.P. I love Fred Willard. Yeah, like there were Jane Lynch, I think, showed up in at least one. I mean, they got a lot of talented performers to show up in them.
We almost forgot Catherine O'Hara. She's in one of the best Christmas movies ever. Home Alone.
Oh, right. That's true, right?
Yeah.
Certainly. I'm not a Home Alone fan.
Love Home Alone. That was a big one when I was a child. When I was a kid, it was a big one for me.
Right. I think it was a thing where when I was little, my family watched it too many times.
Gotcha.
Where I got like to that, resentment stage of it a little bit.
It's me and Elf.
Yeah, no, I totally get that for sure. That it's like I can't watch this anymore, and then when you do have to watch it or parts of it, you're like, wait a minute, this kind of sucks
Yeah.
anyway. You know
Where's
what I
the
mean?
eggnog?
And I right, and I could be wrong. It might be a great movie, but there's certainly parts of it, that I've seen as I've gotten older, post resentment, are like, no, I still get why I don't like this.
Yeah.
And that's probably not fair. I certainly have a lot of friends whose judgment I trust tell me like, you're wrong.
I still
Home Alone is a great movie.
I love Home Alone. I think a lot of our favorites when it comes to Christmas movies specifically is sentimentality
I agree
and nostalgia.
completely.
And
Right.
nostalgia.
Like, how did you first see Christmas Story?
I think it was on TBS and TNT because they do the 24-hour marathon.
Yeah.
I don't remember the first time I saw it because every Christmas we watch it.
For me, I was a little kid and I was channel surfing.
Yeah.
It was like Christmas Eve or whatever. And I'm like, what's this? And I was
Yeah.
halfway through the movie and I watched it. I'm like, that was kind of cool. And then it started again. So I watched the whole thing. I'm like, this might be the best movie ever.
It's amazing.
Right.
It's a good movie,
Yeah. And it just really stuck with me. Because after that, I was like completely sold for it. And I was probably like 8 or 9 or something. But I was like, yep, I'm in for
Same
good.
with like Christmas Vacation,
Sure.
But you guys, let us know in the comments what your favorite Christmas movie or show is. What is a Christmas staple in your household?
Right. What do you make sure is in your rotation? I know plenty of people who the one movie, as you mentioned it, the one movie they never leave out of the Christmas rotation is National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation.
I love it.
I like it. It's not as high on my list as it is for a lot of people, but I do get why it's so popular. I do think it's fun. I do think it's funny.
Also, Die Hard.
Oh yeah.
I mean, I'm a believer that Die Hard's Christmas movie. It's about a guy going home on Christmas, trying to be with his family.
Right. All right, guys. Thanks for being here with us. We are excited to start the next season.
We really are.
Gotta look forward to a great premiere. Catch you later, guys.